How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Happy Friday, happy Sabbath. Welcome to the Friday Experience. My name is Pastor Lawrence Sufram. I will be your host for the day. Listen, if you haven't already, please text LSMin, that's LSMIN, to 24251 so that you could join our text group. Also, if you're watching on Facebook and or YouTube, now would be a great time to share this with your friends and your family. Share it on your timeline, send it to the DMs, let them know that we are in the room. Oh man, had to get that one out. Also, if you feel led to donate to the ministry, you can go to the website www.lawrencefront.com and you will see a button there in which you'll be able to donate. Or you can cash at me at LAWSOU, $ LAWSOU. That's Cash App. I have other means as well. If those two don't work for you, just let me know. But how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? It's good to see you guys in the room. What's going on, Jasmine? It's good to see you. I felt like I haven't seen you in a while, so it's always good to see you. What's going on, Tanya? Faithful when it comes to being in the Friday Experience. I'm glad to see you. What's going on, bro? Happy Sabbath. Also, you've been real faithful and joining us every Friday, and I appreciate that. What's going on, Queen Bay? She is in the building. It's good to see you, babe. Listen, guys, before we even get started, I just want to take a quick moment to share my condolences to the families in Texas that were affected by the mass shooting at the schools. I'm not going to lie to you, I was wrestling with even if I should address this or not. And the reality is we're living in a society that does not really honor life. There are some crazy, wild people out there. And what do you say when something like this occurs? It's a reminder that evil does exist. It's a reminder that we do have an enemy that is fighting against us, but he will not prevail. I know that a lot of us were grieving, we're hurting, and we have the right and the space to do so. And so if you are hurting, if you are grieving, if you've been affected, or if your heart just been heavy, I want you to know that you have a community of people who have been praying for you, who have been asking God to send some comfort, even some understanding. Some of us, this might be rattling our faith a little bit. I want you to always remember that the winning side is still the winning side. I know for some of us, it's hard to receive hope during times like this, but God is still in control. He's still won. We're still victorious. And during times like this where it's rough, we are reminded that a new heaven and a new earth is coming. We don't mourn like the rest of the world. God is faithful to keep his promise, y'all. The Most High is faithful to keep his promise. And so while we are angry, while death is a sore, even a thorn in our side, at the end of the day, we remain hopeful, knowing that death has already lost, especially for those of you who are of the Christian faith. We believe that the resurrection of Jesus Christ has conquered death. And so there will be a time where there will be no more death, where there will be no more tears, there'll be no more crying. And until that day comes, we will mourn together, we will grieve together, we will have compassion with one another, we will deal with each other in grace until that day is fully manifest. And we will be hopeful, we will hold on to our confession. All right, and so I just wanted to let this family know, let the families know, because so many people were affected. The police didn't do a good job. I don't want to go on my bandwagon about the police. We already know the vibes when it comes to them. Let's smarten up, guys. You already know what's up with that. I'm going to leave that one alone. Let me focus on the families and give you my sincerest condolences. You are in my prayers. You are in my thoughts. You are in my fasting. And I really do believe that the Most High will give you what no man can give you, what no woman can give you. May the Creator, may the source of all things touch your spirit and your soul while you are in this moment of grief. And may God give you a comfort and a peace like you've never seen before. As you are grieving, I believe that God will do it. Now let's talk about these universal laws. Last week, we dealt with a couple universal laws. Let me see if y'all can kind of remember what we talked about. I'm going to move into this next one, but I want some of y'all to type up some of the laws that we discussed, not last week, but the week before. See, last week I was being a daddy. I was holding it down for my family. Shout out to my son, LJ. I don't know if he's watching, if he can hear me, but he did a phenomenal job last Friday playing with the school. Won a couple of awards, you know what I mean? Representing for the family. Woo! Shout out to LJ. So yeah, I had to be there for my son. I'm sorry. I always choose my family first. I'll say it again. I will always choose my family first. All right. If my family got something going on, and you, of course, you guys are family, but if my queen got something going on, if my son got something going on, my sons, if my daughters got something going on, listen, if my brothers got something going on, I'm going to be there because I will always be there for my family first. Family is very, very, very important to me. And we did a Friday experience, the difference between relatives versus family. So don't get it twisted. Just because we're blood doesn't necessarily mean that we're family. But I need to go watch that Friday experience to get them gems. Yeah. I see y'all shouting them out. Yeah. Congrats, LJ. He did his thing. He really, really represented for the family. He did very, very well. LJ is moving up when it comes to the music stuff. And so, yeah, there's going to be some Fridays where I might be absent. You know what I mean? Because my son, he's getting older and he needs his father there. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not going to pour into you guys and then have my family be empty. It's not going to work like that. All right. When my son got something amazing going on, I'm going to be there. It's just that simple. So with that being said, type some of the laws that y'all remember from 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you the recap, but I just want to see if some of y'all could remember some of the laws that we discussed because they were very foundational. The laws that we discussed 2 weeks ago are very foundational to deal with some of the laws that we're going to deal with today. And my goal is not to go through all the universal laws. Of course, though, if you have questions, you're always free to bring those questions in, right? But my goal is not to go through all of the universal laws, just some of those that I think are very prevalent that can help you in your journey. Of course, all of them can help you, but you know what I'm saying. So I don't see y'all typing, so I'm gonna give y'all a little bit, right? So we talked about the law of oneness. I remember when we talked about that, the law of oneness, where everything is connected and held together, was created and is being held together by the same force, right? The same cosmic energy, if you will, the same force. The scriptures say that force is Christ, right? But if you're not a believer in Christ, it doesn't change the reality that we all came from somewhere. Everything came from somewhere before us, right? The stars, the moon, the mountains, the grass, the pigs, the birds, it doesn't matter, right? All this stuff came from something before us and is being held together by something greater than us, right? We are not actively holding the world together. We're living in this world, we're experiencing life in this world, but we're not collectively holding this world together. There is a force that is beyond us and within us that is holding everything together. So we are all connected by that force. And because we're all connected, this suggests then that we can tap into one another's consciousness and all that. I didn't quite go into that. But it does suggest that there is a way, a means of receiving information from one another as well as from creation when we tap into that source that's holding everything together, right? There's a way to do that. This force, if the scriptures is correct where it says this is Christ, remember, Christ is a living being. Christ is a conscious being, if you will. This means then that we can communicate with the force that is holding all of us together. And so I don't want to go too deep into that because I'm going to lose some of you, but I want to throw that in there for some of you who do have an understanding that yes, it is possible that we can tap into each other's consciousness, that you can receive information from around you because we are all held together by that same force. All right. We also talked about the law of vibration. Remember, we talked about the law of vibration? So pretty much everything can be broken down into energy. Energy is measured, manifest by vibration. So vibration is the speed in which energy is moving to really, really bring it down and make it simple. And so you have low vibrations, you have high vibrations, slow vibrations, fast vibrations, big vibrations like amplified, and you got really small vibrations, quiet, right? And so these vibrations, the combinations of such, the speed of such, whatever, that's what creates the physical and the visible and the invisible world, right? The vibrations make up the visible and the invisible world. Okay, oh, I see what happened. Jasmine says she missed that one. Oh, yeah, no, you got to go over that. Reaping and sowing is today. Reaping and sowing. Okay, so Jasmine said, I missed that one. Did you go over reaping what you sow? Yes, we are going to go over that today. But I want to make sure that the foundation is laid so that way this can make more sense. A lot of us, we don't quite understand how this works. And so we're going to talk about that. And so because everything is vibrations, ultimately, when you're manifesting something, what you're doing is you are in tune. You are in tune with the vibration in which that thing manifests in. So, in other words, we all exist kind of in multi dimensions. We all exist in multiple vibrations. And I know that might sound crazy, but trust me, we are consistently vibrating. Our vibrations are going up and down, and there are things that exist within the vibration. As a matter of fact, boom, here's some science for you, right? Even the earth has a pulse, meaning it is moving, it is vibrant. There is a pulse in which the earth exists. And when you tap into that pulse, you're literally tapping into the vibration of the earth, in which then you can even sense, if you're sensitive enough, everything that's connected to the earth. I know that sounds crazy, but you don't start with sensing the entire earth. You start first with sensing your space within earth, your space on earth. But you first need to tap into that vibration. And so there's many ideas and theories as to how to do that. Won't go into that right now. That is for your journey. But at the end of the day, experiment. Experiment. Listen, you don't got to be afraid. You don't got to fear anything, all right? Because you are on God's side. You are a child of God. You have dominion over this dimension. You are the kings and the queens. We are the gods and the goddesses of this earth. And while we serve the Most High, everything is submitted to us. So you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid. But trust yourself. If you are uncomfortable, then yeah, leave it alone. You might need to do some research. But if you're closed-minded, that's okay. But that just means there's some aspects of reality you will never experience. That doesn't mean you can't live a prosperous life. It doesn't mean you won't go to heaven. It just simply means you might have more limitations than the next person. What I'm talking about is designed to set us free. If you're looking for freedom, type in freedom. I need to know y'all with me. Type free. If you're looking to be free, type in freedom, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about freedom here on earth. I don't want to have to wait till I die to experience freedom, right? I don't want to wait until I take my last breath to experience freedom. I'm so glad that the Creator has made freedom available for me even now in this existence. And so I'm going to claim it. And this is for those who are also trying to claim it. So there's certain things that can only manifest in certain vibrations. So love is a vibration. Joy is a vibration. Anger is a vibration. Money is a vibration, right? Light is a vibration. Light gets a little complicated. I won't go into light and sound. But they are vibration. Colors are vibration. Sounds, different sounds. And so you can manipulate your space. Crystals. We didn't get into crystals the last time we talked about it because I didn't want to scare y'all too much. But yes, it is true that there are certain crystals you can have in your space. There are certain crystals you can wear on your body. Certain metals, certain rocks and minerals that will cause you to vibrate at a certain frequency. And so when you're dealing with crystals, there's a lot of information, but the interaction of the crystal really depends on where you are energetically or on a vibration level. So there are some general rules, but your makeup will determine how the crystal affects you, just like how your makeup will determine how the music affects you. Your makeup will determine how certain colors affect you. Your makeup will determine how certain weathers affect you, right? And so there is no cut and dry. There are some of us, we are made a certain way. Well, we're all made a certain way. So when we dive into certain spaces, we're going to feel a way. So an example might be some of us were very comfortable in the woods, around trees and grass. When we're in that space, we feel energetic. We feel vibrant. See that word vibrant comes from vibrations, right? We can feel our energy rising. It starts to increase our frequency to higher vibrations in which we can start to experience some peace and some joy and some love. It's a feel good, almost like a superpower, right? There are some of us, we hate the woods. The woods does not work for us. Get us away. We don't want to be around no trees, no bark, no dirt. We don't want none of that there, right? We don't want that. We would rather be by the beach, the ocean, and the sand. When we're in that space, we now start to feel recharged and vibrant and energetic. It does something to us. And we're men. And some of us are like, keep me away from the water. I don't want nothing to do with that, right? We might be comfortable in the mountains. When we're hiking in hills and in the mountains, the higher elevation makes us feel good. It brings us vibrant, and some of us are comfortable amongst all of it, right? Some of us were comfortable in the concrete jungle, the cities, being around other people and the festivities and the noise. It does. So my point is, our makeup affects what will energize us. And so when you're dealing with crystals, certain crystals will give us energy, will give us healing, will give us sensitivity, will give us clarity even. Certain crystals might make us feel uncomfortable. Not because there's anything wrong with the crystal, but because of our makeup. And so you can use crystals in multiple ways. And I know some of you already lost you, but this is good information anyway. So hopefully you take heed. You can use crystals as barometers as to where you are. Now, you can't do that until you learn where your base is. So I recommend dealing with one stone or metal at a time. Dealing with one stone or metal at a time. Don't just get all these crystals and start wearing them because you don't know what is affecting what. So you want to get one stone and just see if you're sensitive enough to notice a difference. Now, if you don't feel anything different, you don't notice anything different, that's fine. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Doesn't mean that you're broken. It could just mean either that you're not sensitive to those subtle energy or that particular stone does nothing for you. Now, I'll share a quick testimony, but this is my story. This is not to make you feel any way, just to kind of share. So when I first got into crystals, one of my first crystals was amethyst. I heard a lot of great things about amethyst. I said, well, let me give this a try. So I bought an amethyst and started wearing it around. I kind of felt a little different, but nothing like crazy. Then one day I had a headache. I said, you know what? Let me see if this amethyst will help neutralize the headache. So I put the amethyst right here on my third eye. We'll deal with chakras another day because that's all energetic stuff as well. I put it right here on my forehead. And I just breathe. I just calm myself, breathe. And the headache just vanished. No Tylenol, no water, no nothing, but just the stone itself. It helped relieve my headache. And that's when I realized that there is some connection to the energy within crystals, at least for me, and how it affects my vibration. And so I do utilize crystals a certain way. Now, here's the secret. We are the crystals. We are really the energy source. The crystals are just tools to help affect our energy, just like sound, just like light, which is connected to sound and colors, right? Just like the water and the weather, just like the planets, right? The moon, the Venus, Mercury, all that stuff. I know some people, you guys are into astrology. I won't talk about astrology now, but I will say that don't think that the planets are up there for no reason. God didn't just put planets up there because they look pretty. These are energy sources. Now, whether you tap into them or not, that's up to you. You have the choice. You have the freedom. But God put certain cosmic forces in the sky in order for us to have energy, not just the sun. The sun is one of our main, I would say probably the most important energy source we have within our solar system. But even then, I'm kind of falling back a little bit because if you read the creation story, according to Genesis, there was light before there was the sun. The sun is a star. I'm not even going to go into all that. The point is the cosmic bodies affect us emotionally. The ancient world kind of understood that. And people understand that now when they talk about retrograde. Some people, yes, are using them as excuses to be lazy and to not do better. But we're not focusing on how people use things for the negative. We're not going to focus on that. Let me just say that right now. We're not going to deal with those people who take what God gave us and try to use it for bad and for evil. We're not focusing on them. We're focusing on the intent in which the Most High gave these things to us. Because what I'm not going to do is allow evil people to own the gifts that God gave to his children. They belong to us. They're mine. They're yours. And so whatever wickedness people want to get into, that is their business. That is between them and their creator. I am not going to rob myself of access because wicked people want to do wicked things. The devil is a liar. He will not rob me. He will not steal my joy. Oh, my boy Antoine in the building. What's up, bro? Listen, Antoine's another one who can really drop some knowledge in here, right? All right, so I think I gave the recap. Oh, so we dealt a little bit with the law of vibration, with the law of attraction last week. The law of attraction being one of the popular laws, but the law of attraction by itself isn't powerful enough to really get what you're looking for, especially if you're dealing with manifestation. It's one of them. So the way the law of attraction works is pretty much the frequency, the vibration that is the most consistent and the strongest. That is what you attract. I'm going to say it again. This is very important. Whatever vibration is the most consistent and the strongest, that whatever exists within that vibration, that is what you're going to attract. Okay? And so if you vibrate in a depressive energy, let's say you vibrate in a very low depressive energy, then you are going to attract things that will keep you depressed. Okay? Does that mean that you will never experience moments of joy? No, doesn't mean that. Because we are interacting with each other, we are consistently being bombarded with different forces and different energies, consistently. But what we will find is a pattern. Hear the words that I'm saying. A pattern of your highest vibration, your most consistent and strongest vibration. So if it's depression, if you vibrate in a consistent depressive state, then your whole life is going to look depressive. It's going to create a pattern of depression. And the law of physics says this is going to continue until something interrupts that pattern, right? There has to be a disruption. Otherwise, the flow will continue. Same thing if you vibrate in love, if you are consistently, if your strongest and most consistent vibration is love, then you will find love consistently coming towards you. Does that mean you won't experience times of grief and sorrow? No, of course you will. You will experience times of grief and sorrow because there are things happening outside of your control. However, that does not negate the things that you have control over. I'm going to say that again because somebody needs to get this. There are things happening outside of your control, but that does not negate the things that you have control over, right? And so a pessimistic person, you vibrate on that pessimistic side, you're constantly going to look and think about and vibrate on the energy that says everything is going to go wrong. Then when things go wrong, watch this, because this is good. Then when things go wrong, you actually feel a relief because you are in agreement because you already knew it was going to happen. You were such in agreement with that wrong thing, that wrong energy. You were in such an agreement with that when it happens, you feel relief. It's like it sucks that it didn't work out, but something in you is like, yeah, we already knew that. And you feel comfortable because you knew it wasn't going to work out. And you feel good about that thing. The only time that you ever have a problem with things not working out is when you believed it would work out and it doesn't. So this is what happened. Yes, exactly. They manifested without question. But some people, Antoine, they don't know that they manifested. They just think life sucks. And I'm trying to help break. We're going to break that. We're going to break that. Now, here's the thing. If your strongest and most consistent vibration is negative, and now you want a positive outcome. You can't just turn a switch and expect everything in you and around you to now be positive. You have created an atmosphere of negativity. And so now you have to work at shifting that atmosphere within yourself. That is where the process comes into play. And so one of the reasons why so many people, it's hard for them to believe what's going on, Taylor. It's good to see you. Happy Sabbath. One of the reasons why it's so hard for people to believe in the universal laws of attraction is because when they try it in such short terms. So if you're a negative person, you're going to think positive for 3 months and you expect your whole life to change, as if you didn't already set things in motion from a negative perspective, right? You miss, and this is where we get into the reaping and sowing. Now we can get into the reaping and sowing. You miss the fact that you've been negative for so long that you've already created a world of negativity. It's similar to if you are in a dirty room. Let's say you're in a dirty room and you say, I don't want this room to be dirty, so I'm going to clean the room. And you grab the cleaning supplies and you grab the broom and you grab the mop and you get the hot water and you got some rags. You have all these supplies now, right? These are clean supplies. Is your room clean? No. No, your room's not clean. Why? So because you have clean supplies doesn't mean you put in the work to clean the room. You just now have the tools to clean the room. And so now you got to go through the process and the time of cleaning the room. So now you clean the windows. Does that mean your room's clean? No, but it's cleaner than it was before. But it still might look bad. You still got stuff on the floor. You still got stuff on the beds and the dresser. So yeah, there's still more work to do, but it's cleaner than what it was before. And all you do is you keep cleaning and cleaning until one day it's still messy, but you can now distinctively notice the difference. The smell starts to be a little better, and you keep on cleaning. Imagine if someone cleaned their window and said, this ain't working, and just stop cleaning altogether. That's what a lot of you do when it comes to manifesting your goals and your dreams. You try it for a short period of time, say it doesn't work, and then you abandon it because there's other laws that come with that attraction. So you started the process of attracting these things, but now you have to consider two things. Reaping and sowing is a law, or I should say the law of cause and effect. Yes, reaping and sowing is connected to that law, but I'll explain the nuance in a little bit. The law of cause and effect / reaping and sowing, and the law of alignment. The law of cause and effect / reaping and sowing, and the law of alignment, right? And so these things are important because without these laws, without considering these laws, you will not be in a position where you can fully manifest what it is you're trying to manifest. And so when we're dealing with, no, you're going to do that later. Sorry, guys. When you're dealing with the law of reaping and sowing, there's a text in Galatians, right, where it says, God will not be mocked. I'm trying to find that tab because I don't want to put the whole presentation up. Boom, here it is. So here's a text in what did I say, Revelation? I meant Galatians. I hope I said Galatians. I don't know if I said Galatians or not, but I meant to say Galatians. In Galatians, it says, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a person sows, this he will also reap. Now, this is the reason, right? I see you, Antoine. I appreciate it. This is why I said cause and effect versus just reaping and sowing, right? Because number one, let's deal with what the text says. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. So this is important because the laws that we talk about, they were ordained and orchestrated by the Creator. These laws, remember, like the 2 weeks ago when we talked about universal laws, these are not man-made laws. These are not beliefs that are subjected to your spiritual system. This is how the world works. Whether you accept it or not, whether you believe it or not, it's irrelevant. This is how the world works. This is what the Creator has instilled. I know some of you saying, yeah, but you're using the Bible to prove the Bible. You're using the Bible to prove your beliefs, and so it's still beliefs. I get it. I'm using the Bible to just express that this was an idea older than mine. But all you have to do is observe. Look, true scientists are observing the world. They are observing, and they're seeing what happens, cause and effect. They're seeing if we do this, this happens. If we do that, that happens. Cause and effect, reaping and sowing. And so when you do certain things, when you say certain things, when you think certain things, when you see certain things, when you plant certain things, when you hit certain things, whatever, when you do something, there is a response to that thing. All right. When you do something, there is there is nothing that we do that does not have some type of ripple effect. Now, some effects are major, life-changing, and some effects are very minor. You don't quite see it as often. You don't see it so quickly. You don't see it so plainly. But it does not mean because you did not see the effect that nothing happened. The worst thing you could think is that you can do something and it not produce some type of effect. Everything we do produces an effect of some sort. And even the small things we don't see. You get enough pennies, you're going to make $1. If you get what I'm saying. You do enough small stuff, it starts to equate to something noticeable. All right. Now, look, my boy Antoine just going ahead with it, right? Seeds bear fruit after their kind. Words are seeds too energetically. He's already going in there, but this is important. I'm glad he went there because this goes back to the law of attraction and how this connects with the law of cause and effect or reaping and sowing. You are a fruit. Oh, so we talked about this in Identity Crisis, the very first video of the Identity Crisis. You are a fruit. Why God told you to eat fruit? Because eating of the fruit is a symbolism of what you are. You are a fruit full of seeds, both in a biological sense and in an energetic sense, spiritual sense, emotional sense, etc. You are a fruit full of seeds. Now, we can know the type of fruit you are by feasting on you, spending time with you, getting to know you, XYZ. But we can also know by the fruit you bear, watching how the seeds you plant, seeing what comes from those seeds, right? Some of you have not been paying attention to the harvest of your sowing. You have been praying and asking God for certain things, but yet you have been sowing in opposition of what you've been praying for. And the reason being, here it is, the reason being because many of you lack the patience to get new seeds from God. The scripture says he gives seeds to the sower. See, I wanted to wait because some of y'all know the scriptures. God, the Most High, give seeds to the sower. We're all sowers. There is no escaping the fact that everything I do, everything I say, I am putting a seed out there. I am sowing a seed out there. And so the reason why I said cause and effect is because sowing a seed, come on, almost shouted. Sowing a seed doesn't automatically mean producing a harvest because now you have to question the quality of the soil, cause and effect. Some of you haven't really been paying attention. You haven't realized that some of your seeds have been sown in bad soil. Let me help you figure out how you know you have good seed but bad soil. Because it seems like when you throw it in someone else's life, it produces fruit. But when you're throwing it in your own garden, there seems to be no fruit. I'm going to help somebody. It seems like you can love everybody else, but you can't love yourself. That means you have your seed of love is good. There must be something in your soil that's not. You might have some rocks of trauma in there. There might be something just up in that soil that's getting in the way of your love to produce some of the fruit that your seed is capable of. Y'all need to get what I'm saying. It's like you can give everybody else advice on how to find their purpose, but when it comes to yourself, you can't. You're confused about where your purpose is. Oh yeah, your soil is messed up, right? Because the proof of the power of your seed is evident in everybody else's life. But then when you look to your own life, it seems like it doesn't have no power. That means the soil is messed up. The seed is good. The soil needs some work. And the problem with us is many of us, we don't want to work with the soil. What's the soil? That could be the heart. That could be the mindset. That could be even the environment that we're in. You know, some of you, I said it before, some of you, you've been what's supposed to move out of that city. But you are just gun-ho and staying where you are, and you're trying to figure out why things ain't working, why things aren't moving. Because, baby, you're sowing seeds in bad soil. You were supposed to break up with that person. You've been staying with them because they gotta work. Y'all made a promise to each other when y'all was 12, and it just gotta work. But you ain't getting nothing that you've been asking for. This relationship hasn't been producing nothing well. But you are fixed in staying in a toxic, broken, malnutrition relationship and wondering why your seeds are not producing any harvest. See, here's the reality. You only get a harvest when you sow in proper soil. Now, let me get into some of the context. All right. Antoine said, and I tell you this, you must give an account on Judgment Day for every idle word you speak. Woo! Oh, so Antoine trying to go all the way over there and let you know that there's some accountability for the words, the empty words that you're speaking, the vain words that you're speaking. So let me say this, right? The soil work. For anybody who does farming, that's the first thing that you do is work on the soil. You test the soil to see if it's even good. You test the soil to see what work it needs. Is it low on this? Is it high on that? And a lot of us, unfortunately, we grew up in environments where we didn't have time to test our soil. We were told to just start sowing seeds. We were told to just get busy and start sowing seeds. And that's why our life is messed up. Let me say this, though. You know the one thing that can grow in any soil? One thing that can grow in any soil? Weeds. 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 How do weeds work? Well, weeds have no nutritional value. Weeds have no agricultural value. Weeds get in the way of the thing you're trying to grow. Y'all not hearing me. Weeds grow in good soil. Weeds grow in bad soil. Weeds will find any place to grow, but weeds only prosper if the soil has been neglected. When the soil is neglected, now you're going to have weeds, right? And some of you, your soil has been neglected. You have not been living life on purpose. And so here you are, you're trying to attract this and attract that, and you're trying to plant this and you're trying to plant that, but you've been neglecting the very soil that will produce what you're asking for. You have been neglecting the very action, the initial action, because for every action, there is a reaction, a cause and an effect. For some of you, you've been so focused on the effect, you've been so focused on the reaction that you have not done the initial action, and you've been doing everything else but the initial action. And because a lot of times the initial action isn't exciting, the initial action isn't thrilling, but the initial action is so important that you will find yourself season after season with nothing. you are failing in manifesting nothing but weeds. You know, there's a reason why, I'm about to ouch, just say ouch early. There's a reason why the more you try to attract success, you get nothing but distractions. There's a reason why the more you try to attract wealth, you get nothing but poverty. There are weeds in your mindset. There are weeds in your heart. And you've neglected your soil and you thought, I heard this quote, so I'm just going to plant those seeds and everything's going to start growing. No, baby, you got to get them weeds out. And let me say this because we already hear in the spirit, most of those weeds came from your parents and their religious ideologies. Woo! We there now. Now, this is the part where y'all cancel me, right? Most of those weeds came from your parents and their religious ideologies. They convinced you that you could not have what you're asking for. They convinced you that there wasn't enough available for you. They convinced you that you wasn't worthy to receive it. They convinced you that it was the devil to even want it. They convinced you that there's some type of glory in struggle and poverty, and something on the inside of you has accepted those things as true. And so now when you hear, I'm a child of God and I'm worthy to receive, those weeds are in there, just choking up the roots of them good seeds. And it's like the more you try to profess prosperity, the more poverty seems to rise up because you haven't done the work. Woo! Haven't done the work. Yeah, I'm going in right now. You haven't done the work. So now you have, because I'm running out of time. I'm really not, because this is my platform, but I like saying that, right? I'm a preacher, right? So you have cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. You also now have the law of alignment. The law of alignment. If you're with me, I want you to say alignment. This is important because for many of you, you have been walking out of alignment. The scriptures say the steps of a man are established by the Lord. Look at that. They're the steps, and he delights in his way. The steps are ordered. For those of you who like the King James, your steps are ordered, right? They're ordered. They're ordered by God, meaning, so let me help break this down. There is a point in your life where you're going to have to make a decision. Now, there's many points in your life in which you're going to make decisions. But there's going to be this pivotal cross. We're all going to meet that place where this decision is going to determine what our future options will be. Now, I know for some of you that sounds scary because you was conditioned to be pessimistic and to think the worst things in life, right? But it's nothing to be afraid of. Whatever decision you make, there are steps ordered for you to now manifest the decision you made. I hope y'all hearing me. These steps are ordered by God. So this is not the man-made steps that they try to throw on us. These are steps that the Most High has already aligned. In order for us to walk in the steps of the Most High, then we have to be connected. We have to dwell in the shadow of the Most High. To walk in the steps of the Most High, we have to dwell in the shadow of the Most High, meaning we have to be close enough to the Most High that his shadow is our light, where his shadow is our covering, where the Most High is in fact before us. And so when we're following the Most High as a shepherd, the Most High is leading us in the order to receive what we're asking for. He's leading us in the steps to manifest the decision that we've made. But sometimes we step out of order. Sometimes we think we're smarter or we are more cunning than the Most High. Now we'll never say those words, but what happens is we'll see a glimpse of where we're going and we'll assume the road because we see the destination. We assume the road. So I see it right there. And so I'm about to sprint there because we lack the patience to walk in the pace of our purpose. So we want to sprint to the destination, and we don't realize that there's cliffs, there's thorns, there's scorpions in that way. And so when we're sprinting that way, once we step out of line, the Most High comes and try to yoke us back and get us back in order. So now watch this. Some of the tension that you're experiencing in life is you trying to go your way and the Most High trying to bring you his way. Some of the tension is this, I want to go this way. I like this way. This looks good to me. And the Most High saying, I need you to be in alignment. I need you to be where you need to be. I need you to walk these steps. I need you to have, because this way I have already prepared the path for you. Listen to what I'm saying. When you step outside of alignment, you're stepping now into gray territory where there is a lack of preparation in theory. I say in theory because the grace of God is so massive that he will put checkpoints when we're out of order. Look, some of y'all not going to get this, but let me just tell you the truth. The Most High's grace is so exhaustive that he has a covering even when we're out of order. He has a way to ensure our safety even when we choose to go the wrong way. But he also has a means, watch this, to get us back in order. Never think the grace of God is the absence of order. I'm going to say that again because some of y'all need to get this. Never think that the grace of God is the absence of order. The grace of God is a tool, is a empowerment to ensure that you can get back in order. And some of you, you've been exhausting the grace of God to the point that you've been living so reckless that you forgot that your steps are ordered. But the fruit of your life is proving the recklessness of your decisions. And what do I mean by the fruit of your life? You're not getting what you've been asking for. You're not even closer to getting to what you've been asking for. You've been so busy, you don't even realize that you haven't been productive. Just because you're moving doesn't mean you're moving forward. Just because you're moving, that doesn't mean you're going somewhere. Sometimes you got to stop moving and take a look and see, where am I? And it's at those moments, see, God is so good that once we realize that we're lost and we cry out, he's never left us. Where's God going to go? God resides within. Wherever we go, God is. And God's right there saying, no, this is out of order. This is out of order. So sometimes you want to respond a certain way. Spirit will tap you. Nope. If you respond that way, you'll be out of order. Sometimes you want to go to certain places. And it's not as if those places are wrong, but there's something in your spirit that says, not tonight. Going tonight would be out of order. Certain opportunities that look like opportunities, you're ready to take them. And the Most High is telling you that's not an opportunity. That is a distraction to get you out of order. There is no way to walk in the order of God without having a relationship with God. You have to walk, you have to literally be in relation with the Most High so that the Most High can tell you, this is how we're walking. We're going here, we're going here, we're going here, we're going here. We're not going there. We're turning this way. We're going to stop here, right? There's a sandstorm coming, so we're going to stop and spend the night right here. There's a blizzard on the way, so we're going to take shelter here. Once that blizzard passes, we're going to keep going. And some of us say, no, ain't no stopping. I'm going to go. And then when you get caught in a storm, oh, God, help me. Oh, God, save me. And God was like, I was trying to have you prevented. Listen, there's certain hardships you got to go through. Don't make it harder on yourself by stepping out of order. Somebody, look, The Spirit's convicting you right now. I'm not gonna let you just brush off this uneasy feeling. You're feeling the conviction right now. The Spirit is convicting you right now, saying, yeah, you know the areas you've been stepping out of order because you're so convinced in doing your own thing. And the thing is, the problem is you step out of order long enough, it starts to weigh on your faith. You stop believing that God said yes. Y'all not hearing me. That's the detriment of being out of order, because your faith starts to waver. And you start to think that God said no because of the life that you're living, and you don't even realize I've been living out of order. And do you know, watch this, you know you could be a good person and still live out of order? Yeah, you ain't never cussed a day in your life and you're still living out of order. Yeah, you don't drink nothing, you don't smoke nothing, but you're still living out of order. Yeah, you've been faithful to your spouse, but you still living out of order. Because living out of order is not about what you ain't been doing. Living out of order is living out of order, or living in order rather, is about walking in the way God called you to walk. So you could be living a good life and still be out of order because the things God told you to do, you've been saying no to. And you've been comfortable in being a moral person out of order. We're going to rebuke that out of order spirit today. We are going to rebuke that out of order spirit today. I don't care how good you've been living. I don't care how everybody says, oh, you're so awesome, you're so amazing, oh, you're such a blessing. At the end of the day, if God said to go left and you're going right, you're out of order and God is not pleased. But praise be to God, today you can say, Lord, I realize I've been going wrong and I'm ready to walk with you. And he's right there ready to receive you with open arms, ready to give you everything you've been asking for. Oh, my God. Now, let me also give you this law. And it's the last one because I'm actually done. But I don't think I'll be doing you justice if I don't give you this one too, because it helps kind of bring everything in balance. So you have the law of cause and effect, reaping and sowing. You have the law of alignment. You got to be in alignment with God. Then you have the law of windows or seasons. The law of seasons. Seasons are a law. All right, I need you. There are, oh, my God. Because seasons deal with alignment. Alignment deals with cause and effect. Cause and effect deals with attraction. Attraction deals with oneness. See, they are interwoven and connected, right? So planting good seeds in good soil in the wrong season, you're not in alignment. You're out of order. And you're out of order because you did not discern the times and the seasons. And so some of you, your issue is winter is taking longer than you anticipated. It's been cold longer than you thought. And you figure, well, I'll just chip at the soil and plant these seeds anyway. And what you don't realize is you are being a bad steward of the resources the Most High gave you. And all it's doing is it's leading you into a space of depression and discouragement, because there's nothing worse than working hard and getting nothing in return. Some of you have been trying to do things out of season. It is not yet the season. It's the season for this. It's not the season for that. And so now, you know, the preacher always said, it's your season for harvest. It's your season for harvest. It can't be your season for harvest if it was never your season to sow. Hear what I said? At some point, we got to wait for your season to sow. But how are you going to have a season to sow if you never had a season to collect seeds? And so at some point, oh man, I see you, Tamir. Tamir said she's going to have to rewatch this again. That's all right. That's all right, because this is life-changing stuff. Some of you are in the season of seed collection. You're reading books, you're talking to your elders, you're meditating, God giving you revelation, and you're asking God, what do I need to do? And God said, I need you to just believe right now. I need felt it. I need you to get this in your spirit. I need you to vibrate different. So God says, I'm gonna keep giving you sound, which is words, watch this. Words are sounds riding on breath, right? So words are intention connected to breath. That's all a word is. A word is the intention connected to life force. God is saying, I'm trying to give you this word, my intention with my life force, so that you can vibrate different. I need to change the way that you've been thinking. I need to change the way that you've been feeling. I need to change the way that you've been vibrating as a whole, because when you vibrate different, then you'll be good ground for good seeds. And I'm going to give you these seeds, and the fruit will first be inside before it's outside. You got to be prosperous internally before you're prosperous externally. You got to have love internally before you have love outside and around you. You got to have joy within before you have joy with. You got to have success with. So internal, God is saying, I need you to believe. Ain't nothing more that you need to do except actually believe. And so for some of you, when God gives you a word, you get a resistance that's letting you know the rocks in your soil. And you're so busy trying to cover up the rocks, and God is busy trying to expose the rocks and say, look, let's wrestle with this. I need us to wrestle with this so we can remove this rock so your soil can be ready for seed. What am I talking about? Because I sound so abstract, right? Some of you are just like, yo, Law, what are you talking about? Well, I'll help you here. When you hear somebody say, next year you're going to be a millionaire, there's somebody that just heard that and they shifted inside and something in them said that's a lie. I said, next year you're going to be a millionaire. Something in you said that's a lie. Why? What are the ideas that you've held on to that convince you that it's impossible? You haven't even tried yet, and yet you're convinced that it will never happen. Why? There's a rock in there. There's a weed in there. And God is saying, before you exercise any millionaire strategies, we got to get rid of the rocks. You're not in the season to sow anything. You're in the season to collect. So here you are sowing these millionaire strategies. I'm going to just sow. I'm going to keep sowing these. And one day I'm going to be a millionaire. And you ain't even hit 1,000 yet. And you're getting depressed and you're getting discouraged because you never considered that you're out of season and you're out of order. Some of you, okay, let's talk about the other side. Some of you, you are in the most fruitful season of your life. And because you've never seen it before, you're scared to pull the trigger on it. I'm talking to you. You ain't never seen the path so smooth ever in your life. You ain't never seen so much opportunity just fall so easily. This is brand new for you, and the newness of it is scary. And you are hesitant to pull that trigger. And I'm here to just give you a warning saying you better sow in this season. You better reap in this season. You better run in this season. You better travel in this. You better do what you need to do in this season, because when the season passes, you got to wait till the next rotation. I want to help somebody here, because the law of seasons is one of the things that trip a lot of people up. You can't sow whenever you want. You can't reap whenever you want. There has to be a season. And you have to know what season to do what. And you have to be able to discern it. I'm going to tell you, look, moment of transparency. I'm in a harvest season right now. Hallelujah. I'm in a harvest season right now. And I'm getting all I can get. I'm a harvest until the season shifts. I'm a harvest until the season changes. And watch this. When the season changes, I'm not going to trip and act like God abandoned me. I'm not going to trip and act like God left me. I'm going to recognize the season that I'm in, and I'm going to know that I was already prepared to deal with it. See, winter is only a problem when you're not prepared for it. Y'all not here. Y'all not hearing me? If you were prepared for winter, you wouldn't be bothered by it. It's the fact that you didn't store up enough to survive it. It's the fact that you did. If you stored up enough, you wouldn't even be concerned. And let me get a little deeper, but this ain't for everybody, but this is only for some people. Some of you, you're supposed to go south for the winter, but you just like being in New York. That's a metaphor. That's a metaphor. I'm not talking about New York. That's a metaphor, because some of you, the only reason why winter is so hard, because you refuse to relocate during winter seasons. Woo! Because you love where you're at. And what that really is, that's idolatry. It is. It's idolatry. You love the external more than what God's trying to do on the inside. All right. Some of you, your seasonal depression because of your idolatry to your city. That was a prophecy for somebody. That was a word for somebody. Your seasonal depression is connected to the idolatry of your city. And God is saying, if you would just love yourself more than you love the state, more than you love your mama who's still there, your daddy who's still there, your friends who's still there, if you would just love yourself enough to go to where you would prosper, go to where the seasons are different. You know, everywhere in the world isn't experiencing the same season at the same time. Y'all not hearing me. See, there's some things you can't escape because they're internal seasons. But there's some things you're just in the wrong place at the it deals with alignment, but it also deals with season. Because if you go there out of season, you're going to miss it anyway. So I hope you can see the nuance of how seasons play a part in alignment and how alignment plays a part in reaping and sowing / cause and effect. We need these things to work in conjunction, and how attraction is connected to all of that, and the way you vibrate is connected to all of that. And remember the law of oneness, which is the most important one. That you can be and become whatever you need to be and become, because you are connected to all, and all is connected to you. You can receive whatever information you need to receive. You never have to stay in ignorance. You might be in ignorance only for a while, only because you have not yet vibrated to a space in which you can think differently. You've been committed to think a certain way. And because you're committed to thinking that way, you haven't yet vibrated into a being that can receive new perspective. And so your ignorance is only but for a little while. Your ignorance will remain until you're fed up of the product of the way you think. When you start to examine the outcome of your current mindset and you become fed up with it, that you're now open to a new one. That is when your answer will come. I'm telling you plain. When you finally say, you know what, this way of thinking hasn't been working. Who was it? Was it Einstein who said, you cannot solve problems with the thinking that got you into those problems? I believe that was Einstein, but some man more brilliant than me that lived before me said that quote. You cannot solve problems with the thinking that created those problems. And for some of you, you convince yourself, this is who I am. This is who I am. I've always been this way. Well, guess what? You are connected to the source in which you can be and become whoever and whatever is necessary for your prosperity. All right. I'm done. I'm done, guys. I'm done for the day. We have discussed a lot. We did a good overview. But if you didn't catch part 1, I strongly recommend you watch part 1 and then watch this again, because this is kind of like the meat. Part 1 was kind of like the bones. And once again, order. We have to do things in order. Certain ideas you need to get. Now we're done. So we're going to meditate and this and the third. But if you have any questions or comments, now is the time to kind of share them. I know it's a lot to take in, so I want to give you some space to process it, right? Shout out to my homegirl, Natalie, my sister, my cousin Natalie, kind of helped me realize, people just need time to process. Lawrence, you're hitting them with gems. They need to process the gems. And so I want to give you some time to process. And then whatever questions come, there are no dumb questions. This is a good time to ask them. But as always, if you think of a question later on, hit me in the DM. Even better, put it in the Friday Experience group that's on Facebook. If you're not a part of the Friday Experience group, I want you to join. This is where we can talk about different ideas, about whatever. We can just discuss them, prayer requests, whatever. It doesn't matter. We can have a dialogue on different ideas that will help edify everybody. But if there are no questions, if there are no comments, if this was good to you, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. If you can put a 1 in the chat, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. Shout out to those of you who are streaming this on your TV so you can't quite interact. I see you. I know that you're in the building. Those of you who can't interact, put a 1 in the chat if this was good to you. And we are going to get into our meditation. Of course, if you have a question, I will stop and pause and take a look at it. But breathe into your nose, out through your mouth. Ooh, I see those ones. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Repeat after me. Say, I am a child of God, and I am worthy to receive this word. See, now you know what the word is. The word is the intention and the life force to change your vibration. Let's repeat it again. I am a child of God, and I am worthy to receive this word. And now we can ask the questions. How has these laws been working in my life? Woo! What a weighted question. What have I been doing that have been producing a particular outcome that I need to stop doing? What have I been thinking that has produced a particular outcome, which means I need to stop thinking like that? What have I been saying that has produced a particular outcome that tells me I should stop talking like that? What have I been believing that's been producing a particular outcome, which lets me know I should change what I believe? In what area in my life, if there is one, that I have stepped out of order and I am no longer in alignment, which means I'm not where I need to be to get what I need to get? In what area in my life have I been stubborn to do my own thing despite the Most High giving me the steps that are ordered? In what area of my life, y'all need to be meditating on these questions. In what area in my life am I refusing to consider a different mindset that might reveal the steps that I have not been able to see? In what area in my life have I been more concerned about what other people think that I have been neglecting the soil of my heart, the soil of my mind, the soil of my relationships, the soil of my business? I've been neglecting the soil because I've been more focused on people pleasing than purpose producing. God, you see the answers, they see the answers. And I believe that after today, everybody will live a little different. I believe after today, people will be more intentional with their thoughts, more intentional with their words, more intentional with their circles and their friends, more intentional with their actions. I believe, God, that people will start to observe the soil of their hearts and the fruits of their efforts. And God, I pray that if they see an absence of fruit and an abundance of weeds, that you will give them the discernment and the courage to do the soil work. And I ask God, where they have been seeing an abundance of fruit, that you will give them the discernment to acknowledge the season and the time. And Lord, I ask God, if they have been seeing nothing, they are completely clueless of where they are, that you will give them an increase of wisdom and discernment, that they may at least be able to recognize where they are. There's so much, Lord, that I'm so glad you're patient and long-suffering. May we be as patient as you, that we may receive everything you desire to give us, which is the desires of our hearts. Everything is yes and amen in Christ Jesus, and we receive every good gift that comes from you because we are worthy to receive it. And we remove every stumbling block, every rock, every thorn, every weed that gets in the way of us receiving the prosperity that is due to us as children of God. And we thank you, we love you in Jesus' name, amen. All right. We are done, and we are done. Thank you, thank you, thank you once again. Oh, that was good. I'm gonna take some time to decompress. But listen, yeah, this might be another repeat for some of you. Gotta watch this one again. If this was good to you, man, look, share this. Listen, y'all, this is free. I'm doing this for free. I could charge good money. I really could, and I'm doing this for free. The least you can do is share. That is truly the least you can do. Give it a like, a thumbs up, or something. Let people, if it was good to you, let people know it was good to you, that they can also receive the goodness. And if you happen to be financially prosperous, which we all are, amen, we're gonna speak those things. I do ask that you would donate so that we can do, so that the ministry can continue to grow. But you are officially, I see you, Nat. You are officially dismissed. God bless you. Peace. This is good.